A lot of the older ECW fans, as you've touched on, at first they voiced their displeasure with the new ECW. Overall,
sure,
what are your thoughts?
When it first came back, I was extremely excited. You know, the very first after the pay-per-views, the very first ECW showing was ECW versus SmackDown, and I wrestled Rey Mysterio. Everybody that I knew said that they could see how happy I was. They could tell, you know, I was just glowing, and it meant I could do whatever I felt was necessary and appropriate during that match to entertain my crowd. And that, as an artist, is what I've always been about. I felt handcuffed when I don't have that freedom. So I was so happy. The one night stand, I wrestled John Cena. I beat him for the world title. Things were going good. And immediately I saw changes in ECW, and I fought them, and I kicked at them, and I clawed at these changes and said, no, they're going to change ECW away from what it stands for. You're taking it away from what it means. And when I saw that those were the intentions for the new ECW, just like all of the fans and all the true hardcore fans of myself, I was just as disappointed, and I still miss the old ECW just as much as anybody. So I'm glad the new ECW is back, and because I do get a hardcore rules match once in a while, I feel like it's a better place for me to be showcased than up against the egos on the other shows. But at the same time, you know, I'm out there to represent OGs, you know, and I take that to heart.
Would you say that you're satisfied with the way you've been utilized in WWE, or do you feel that they've missed out on some of your potential?
Well, I feel like they've never understood me, and maybe I'll blame that on the original Sheik, because he was so different and unique, and what he passed on to myself and to Sabu was, don't try and take somebody else's spot, create your own. And I've always been one of a kind, just like my song. I've always been unique, and it's not just my wrestling, it's the way that I view the world. I know that, but I've always tried to be different. I've tried to do moves that I didn't see anybody else do. My style has always been different, and because of that, I think the WWE has always had a hard time understanding me, because I'm so calm and confident and passive when I'm kicking butt. They're used to seeing a screaming, angry wrestler that's all talk about how he's going to rip your head off. I just know I can do it, you know, and so they've always been confused about how to invest in something like that. So I have found that I got myself to where I'm at by building up the fans' respect. The fans go crazy when I'm out there. They cheer me. There's a big difference between being over with the fans and being over with the audience, or with the office. I'm sorry. So I feel I'm thankful for the opportunities I've got. In fact, a statistic that may not well be known is that RVD has had more championship belts than anybody else in WWE.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact, because I've retired the European belt and the hardcore belt. Nobody can now get those. I've had both tag belts, of course, the world belt, the ECW belt, and if you do your homework, you'll find, you know, that no one else has done that. So that's pretty prestigious. My fans will always say that I should have gotten pushed higher and that they should have gotten behind me more. And I can't say that I disagree. At the same time, I do it for my connection with the fans, and that's something that they cannot take away from me.
Right. As you said earlier, WWE is wrestling. I mean, they're the major company. Do you see yourself with WWE for the remainder of your career? Do you see yourself wrestling for other companies, or maybe just scaling it down, or how do you see your future in the sport?
Well, I really don't have any interest in wrestling for the smaller crowds and stepping back, you know, like I did on the way up. You know, going and signing autographs at personal appearances and meeting with the fans and actually being able to feed off their energy and talk to them and hear their feedback. That's something that I'll always be interested in doing. It's been a part of promoting myself on the way up. It's a part of still keeping in touch right now, and I'll always do that. But when I'm put the boots on and when I'm in the ring doing what I do, I hope to always be on the main stage.
All right. Well, we're talking to RVD on WDFN. Rob, last June you won the WWE Championship. You were then named ECW champion when that show came back up. Then less than a month later, you had an unfortunate run-in with the law, and subsequently you lost both belts. Do you know what they had planned for you with the whole two belt things? Were you set to have a long championship run?
One thing I can say for sure is that when I'm at my best, I have Paul Heyman behind me. And Paul Heyman was there at the time, and he was definitely the genius behind putting all the energy into ECW and making the launch of the new ECW a success. He's no longer around, and it's been that way for quite some time. He got frustrated with all the changes of the old ECW being morphed into this new ECW, and we were all frustrated, you know. And since he's not there, I can't imagine that anybody would have had the same attention on me as they did when he was there anyway. And I believe that true to my heart. Paul is the one guy in the business that has understood me and known how to utilize me more than anybody else. And that's a fact that I imagine it probably always will be.
In your opinion, do you think you're misunderstood, or do you think that something's held against you maybe? Or what's your take on why you don't get the push maybe?
I don't think I fit anybody's preconceived notion, you know. I wouldn't say that I'm without a push. I do usually end up beating a majority of my opponents. I usually hit that 5-star frog splash every night, and I think that's because everybody understands that makes people happy. You know, it's one of the loudest cheers. Something that also can't be denied is when I come through the curtains and everyone's cheering RVD. That's always one of the loudest noises of the whole night, regardless of how they have things in their mind set up to go off. You know, and I think that's always been something hard for them to understand. Something that has always been part of my plan and always helped me get to where I am. Like Frank Sinatra said, I feel like I did it my way. Misunderstood. Probably so. And when I first came into WWE, it was very obvious. It took quite a while before anybody could feel like they knew me enough to even have any kind of idea. And really, it's always kind of been like that throughout my career. You know, sometimes throw me on the very first match because I'm going to get the people excited and kick the show off with a hot start. But then again, you know, RVD's one of the, if not the most popular guy, you know, he belongs on the main event too, you know, and I've always kind of been like juggled around like that, and like I said, no matter where I'm at, I connect with my fans, and I look forward to that. You know, I feed off of that energy, and that's something on a nightly basis that I get out of it, and that I know my fans get out of it too.
Very good. WrestleMania 23 is this Sunday. If you can't make it out to Ford Field, be sure to order it up on pay-per-view. We were talking about the Hall of Fame ceremony. Tickets are available for that now. So by all means, that's something you don't want to miss because, like Rob said, it's a little different take on WWE and the wrestlers themselves. Rob, best of luck to you at WrestleMania and in the future. It's always a pleasure to watch you in action, and I'm sure that you'll do your best to be the whole effing show on Sunday.
You know me. I don't disappoint. Fans always know what I bring to the table, and I always bring it. And this Sunday at WrestleMania, you can be sure I'm going to bring it.
All right. Thanks again for joining us, Rob. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.